Episode 22 of Speculate to Accumulate. Welcome back if you are a subscriber. If you're new, then welcome. And if you do enjoy this at the end of the video, hit the red subscribe button below and hit the bell. And you get to see these two bells every week. Giving you what we think is the best selections for the weekend's football. One thing I do want to clear up. We're not mind readers. We can't predict the future. We don't think we can predict the set like 6 every week. We are just giving our best insight, aren't we? We can't predict the future. So there was a comment which has riled me up. He's probably watching saying, "I fucking got him on a string here." But yeah, we can just give you what we think is the best tips. So before we do start, this podcast is brought to you by Faded Barbershop in Leyland in Lancashire. So if you are in the region, or if you're in the town, or if you're near the city of Preston, go and see Kane and the boys, and they will sort you out. Last week, let down by one team on the both teams to score.
Same old story, innit?
Your turn this week. Your turn to take the brunt. One of yours, surely local side, aren't they, to us?
Scored something like 12 in the previous 5 away games and then can't score.
The five, yeah. They scored in each of the 5 previous ways, didn't they?
Yeah, they were losing like 3-2 every week.
And then
they lose 1-0 the week we back them.
Typical, innit? Sod's law. But this week as well, we're going back to the original format because it is a weird week of fixtures.
There's a lot of short price favourites, isn't there?
Yeah, so we thought we'd up it back to a 6-fold on the accumulator. So we'll get stuck in. I've been doing my research and I'm delving into the Scottish leagues. So I'll kick things off. The first pick this week, we're going to have Raith to beat Forfar. So Scottish League 1 fixture, which we are dipping our toes into, and it's second bottom versus top of the league, Raith. 20 points separate the two sides after 20 games, and Raith are unbeaten in the previous three aways, and Forfar have only won 1 of the previous 6 home games. Raith only lost 1 of previous 7 away fixtures, and Raith beat Forfar in the previous fixture 2-1 away earlier this season. So Raith have beat Forfar away. Do they play each other 3 times in that league?
It's weird in Scotland.
Yeah. I think it is 3 times, but they've already played Forfar away and beat them 2-1. I think that was in like October. So the first pick is going to be Raith to beat Forfar, and it is in Scottish League 1. It is on the betting apps. You've just got to do a bit of searching for the league.
My first pick is going to be Coventry at home to NK Dons. It's 3rd versus 20th in the league. Coventry have won 8 out of 12 home games this season, and MK Dons have lost 8 of 11 away games this season. I mean, in the league, that is.
Lovely stuff. Third pick is going to be Cooden Beef to beat Albion Rovers.
What was that accent?
Cooden Beef.
All right, Cowden Beef.
Cowden Beef to beat Albion Rovers. It's 3rd versus 8th. 8th being 3rd bottom in that league. With 13 points separating the two sides after 18 games, with Cowden Beef only losing 1 home game in their previous 11, which was against top of the league Cove Rangers. Cowden Beef have won 3 out of the previous 4 home games, with the other game being a draw, whilst Albion Rovers have only won 1 away game in the Scottish League 2 all season, and have lost 3 of the previous 5 aways, drawing the other 2 games. Second best defensive record in the league, which Cowden Beef have, versus the second worst defensive record in the league, which Albion Rovers have. The third pick is going to be Cowden Beef to beat Albion Rovers.
My second pick is going to be Exeter at home to Cambridge United. It's 2nd versus 13th in the league. Cambridge have lost 4 of the last 5 games and scored just 2 in the last 5 away games. And Exeter have scored 11 in the last 5 homes, winning 3 of them and drawing 2, I think. With the wins against Newport, Northampton and Plymouth. 4-0 against Plymouth as well.
Yeah.
And then 2 draws against Walsall and Cheltenham in them last 5.
Big derby that as well, 4-0 in this bank Plymouth. I think out of all the fixtures this week, I don't want to jinx it, but that seems to be the banker, doesn't it?
You have them now, haven't you?
Fucking hope so. The 5th pick on the 6-fold is going to be Edinburgh City to beat Queen's Park. Again, we are in the Scottish leagues here. It's 2nd versus 7th, with Edinburgh City having double the amount of points of Queen's Park so far this season. Second best home form in the league, up against the Queen's Park side, who have only taken 9 points from 9 aways this season. Edinburgh City have won every league game this season at home, bar one, which was a draw, which is a fucking impressive stat. Queen's Park have only won 1 away, losing 4 in their previous 5. So the 5th pick, Edinburgh City versus Queen's Park.
And the final pick is going to be Portsmouth at home to AFC Wimbledon. Pompey are unbeaten at home in the league with 7 wins from 12 games. Wimbledon have got just 7 away points this season. And Pompey have won 4 of the last 5 homes, with wins against Wickham, Ipswich and Rotherham, and a draw against Peterborough.
All top sides who could potentially go
Yeah,
up.
beat Wickham and Plymouth, who were top 2 for months and months.
Yeah.
And then Rotherham, who are chasing in the playoffs now, aren't they, as well?
Stuff. If you're wondering as well why I delved into these Scottish leagues, because not so many people back these games. The odds, I was just scrolling through Flash Score looking at the games, and the odds are a lot better. Like the 3 I've picked are all favourites on paper, but the odds on these being favourites compared to like favourites in the English, Premier League all the way down to League 2. The odds are a lot steeper. There's none of them 3 Scottish games what are on the 6-fold below. I think the lowest price was like 4-7, which I think was Cowden Beef at home. So yeah, the 6-fold is going to be as follows. Then we'll wrap it up. Raves to beat Forfar,
Coventry to beat MK Dons,
Cowden Beef to beat Albion Rovers,
Exeter to beat Cambridge,
Edinburgh City to beat Edinburgh City to beat Queen's Park.
You wanted to say Queen's Park Rangers, didn't you?
To beat Queen's Park.
And Portsmouth to beat AFC Wimbledon. I've not priced it up.
I think you're about 23, 24 to 1. My prices may vary. It might be more now. I think that's the price I looked at a couple of days ago. But yes, so on to the both teams to score 6-fold, where we're getting stupidly close, it seems, week in, week out. Last week it
seems
was
to be
1.
in the post every week, don't we?
Last week it was 1. Week before that it was 2. I think the week before that it was 1. It's got to go. It's got to come again soon, isn't it? First pick, we're going to have Luton versus Birmingham. Luton being one of our favourites on the both teams to score. So Luton have landed both teams to score in 4 of the previous 5 at home, and Birmingham have landed 4 out of the previous 5 away. 24th versus 18th with 8 points separating the two sides, and a win could drag Luton out of the relegation places, which could be a bit of an incentive for them to go for it. Luton are a reliable side in the both teams to score this season and have scored 32 and conceded 56 after 26 league games.
That's averaging like a 2-1 loss near enough every week.
Yeah.
My first pick is going to be Stoke versus Millwall. Millwall have surprised me really when I was looking at the stats. They are, I think, either tied or the most reliable when it comes to both teams to score this season, landing in 18 of 26 league games this season, including 9 of 13 away games. Stoke have landed both teams scoring 15 of 26 games this season. 7 of 13 of them have been at home.
Nice. My second pick is going to be Burton versus Fleetwood. Both teams have landed both teams to score in 4 out of the previous 5 games. 7 league positions separate the two sides, but only by 3 points, which should make for a close game. Fleetwood last failed to score an away goal in League One on the 31st of August, which was against Lincoln. That's a long time ago, isn't it? And Burton have only failed to score in 2 out of their previous 10 home fixtures. So with 3 points separating the two sides, it's tight there. 7 league positions, 3 points separating them. So yeah, second pick, Burton versus Fleetwood.
My second pick is going to be Swindon versus Crewe. It's first versus third in League 2. Crewe have scored in 4 of the last 5 league aways and landed both teams scoring 16 of 24 league games this season, including 8 of 11 on the road. Swindon have kept 3 clean sheets in the last 5 games, but all have been against bottom half sides, them being 13th, 18th and 20th. I think it was Cambridge, I can't remember who the other two were, but have conceded against the two top half sides that they've played at home, which have been Bradford and Walsall, who were 4th and 11th. So I think Crewe are a good chance of scoring at least.
It looks good in that. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't split the two. So if you asked me who's going to win that game, I couldn't tell you. I probably would say draw.
I wouldn't be back in Swindon for a win anyway now that Bradford have recalled Owen Doyle.
Oh, have they? Shit. My third and final pick on the both teams to score is going to be down in the pits of League One. It's Southend versus Tranmere. So it's bottom versus second. Sorry, second bottom versus third bottom in League One. I've put bottom versus second bottom for some reason, but it's not because Bolton are bottom, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
They're nearly there. They're only a point off Southend now. So second bottom versus third bottom in League One with 12 points separating the two sides. Both sides have landed both teams to score in all of their previous 5 fixtures. The reverse fixture of this game finished 1-1 back in October when Tranmere was at home. Despite being bottom of the league, Southend have only failed to score in 3 of their previous 10 home games. And after Tranmere's heroics away at Watford earning an FA Cup replay in a 3-3 draw, if they can score at Vicarage Road, then they can fucking score at, what's it called? Southend's Ground. It's got a funny name. It's like it'll come to me. So my third and final pick on the both teams to score, Southend versus Tranmere.
And my final pick for the both teams to score is going to be Salford versus Northampton. Salford have landed both teams to score in 3 of the last 5 home games in the league, conceding in 4 of them 5. Northampton have landed both teams scoring 3 of their last 5 aways, conceding in 4 of the last 5 and scoring in 4 of the last 5 too.
Nice. So the 6-fold both teams to score is as follows: Luton versus Birmingham,
Stoke versus Millwall,
Burton versus Fleetwood,
Swindon versus Crewe,
Southend versus Tranmere,
and Salford versus Northampton.
Not sure about the price.
I've not priced it up.
I think it's Rodney Parade, isn't it? Or is that Bristol's ground?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Southend's ground. Fuck, it's going to do my head in that. Google it quickly. I'll start the score. Don't Google it because it's going to annoy me. I'll start the score and win. So the score and win treble this week. The first fixture is going to be Plymouth to beat Plymouth. Both teams score. Plymouth to beat Carlisle. Plymouth are the away side in this, but they've won 3 out of the previous 5 aways, drawing 1 and losing 1. And they've also won their previous 2 aways. Carlisle drew their previous 2 home fixtures. It's 21st versus 6th with 16 points separating the two sides. And with Plymouth's recent form, it makes them the likely favourite in this one as they are pushing on to get back into League One.
Roots Hall.
Roots Hall! That's the one. I knew it was a R.
Haven't you got a mate from Southend as well?
Yeah. He's a gooner.
Oh, right.
Georgie, right. Big up.
The next pick in the score and win is going to be Bradford away at Crawley. Bradford are 4th versus 16th in the league. Bradford have won the last 4 head-to-head games. 3 of them have been a score and win. And Crawley have landed a both teams score in 18 of 26 league games this season, which is the same as Millwall.
Yeah.
When I said it, I thought it was tied. And then the third and final pick on the score and win treble is going to be Dundee United against Partick in the Scottish Championship. Dundee United have won both meetings between the two sides this season, winning the away game 2-1. Dundee United have won 16 of 20 games in the league this season, including all of the last 5 away games. And Partick have landed both teams score in 4 of the last 5 home league games.
So the score and win is as follows:
Bradford away at Crawley,
Plymouth away at Carlisle,
and Dundee United away at Partick.
Inverdonian Partick Thistle. Same the Gladiators. You go on my first whistle.
You're going to be upsetting some Scots, you.
No, we love the Scots. That's why we're backing them. We love the Scottish. Bring them all. Bring the whole clan over to the channel. If you did enjoy this podcast / video, then hit the subscribe button below. If you're listening on audio, if you could go over to the podcast app, if you are an Apple, leave a little review there. That'll be much appreciated. 23 subscribers away from 200. Thank you very much for everyone who tunes in week after week and everyone who subscribes. And until next week, we'll see you Well, we'll see you next week. Peace.